Development Advocacy Network. We are the leading events and webinar platform in African real estate, a platform to connect with stakeholders in the housing industry across the globe. Our platform has over 1,000 live viewers per webinar, over 20 African and international countries. We engage a heterogeneous audience composed of decision makers. With over 120 minutes per webinar, you can reach over 40,000 global and Pan-African audience. Join Nigeria's leading brands, sponsor a webinar episode or series, or host your own webinar through our platform and speak to your own audience. Through our platform, you can reach a new audience composed of real estate developers and investors, property owners and facility managers, banks and financial institutions, construction and civil engineering firms, managing directors and chief executive officers of companies, wholesalers, retailers, property agencies, and even more. For inquiries, call the numbers displayed on your screen. The Housing Development Advocacy Network webinar platform is proudly sponsored by
Good afternoon. You are welcome to another webinar edition, which is the 13th edition of Housing Development Advocacy Network. We are very happy to be here today, and we want to appreciate all our partners, all our sponsors, and all the participants. This special edition is organized basically to educate more of our partners and those who are handling their marketing on the need to change position. So therefore, this webinar will be very, very educative. So it is my pleasure to be here. I must acknowledge the support of Royal Ceramic, who have been a sponsor for this webinar platform for the last 10 editions. It is my pleasure to welcome all my guest speakers. But before that, I would like to introduce to you the focus of today's webinar discussion. Our focus will be for the next 1.5 hours, not more than. Plan to leave as soon as possible. The focus is imperatives of virtual exhibitions, the case of Abuja International Housing Show. Abuja International Housing Show, the largest housing event in Africa, having done 13 editions, has been forced to go virtual with developments in the world. I hope you can all hear me.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
We can.
So it is my pleasure today to recognize and introduce to our very wonderful participants. I can see that the numbers is increasing. We have good numbers of them who have registered earlier today and yesterday. Permit me to start the introduction of today with a very highly respected personality in the Nigeria housing industry, a former managing director of UPDC Property Development Company PLC, a senior lawyer and highly respected legal guru, who at present the founder and the CEO of Eximia Reality. I have read the profile of Akim Ogunina on this program several times, and because of this, I will not be going into the detail today. To me, Ogunina is the father of modern development. So it's my pleasure to welcome you, Mr. Akeem Ogunniran, to this webinar edition.
Thank you very much.
Next to Ogunniran today is Engineer Bashar Haba. Engineer Bashar Haba is the General Manager in charge of projects at the Urban Shelter Limited. Urban Shelter Limited is a leading name in the real estate development in Africa. Bashar is in charge of all the projects of Urban Shelter Limited. He has over 12 years of international experience in real estate, construction, engineering, and project management. Bashar leads and coordinates, oversees all the residential, commercial development of Urban Shelter Limited. Bashar is a member and serves as committee of various engineering project management and real estate affiliated organizations in Nigeria and overseas, especially Washington, D.C. He's a member of many professional institutions, including U.S. Green Building Council. Malam Bashar Haba, it is my pleasure to have you on this webinar discussion today.
Thank you, Festus. Appreciate it.
Also with me here today is a IT guru, Mr. Olaseni Fawemi, who is a consummate marketing and communication professional focused on leadership brand, business strategy, growth, and sustainability. Olaseni has over 16 years coordinate marketing, management, business development experience. He has been involved in the developing and executing several brand communications for some of the biggest brands in Nigeria and Africa, including UAC, Roche, Coca-Cola, First Bank of Nigeria, V-Mobile, now Airtel, among others. Seni is the lead consultant of Pro Resulta Marketing Company, a Lagos-based IT and brand development organization. Mr. Olaseni Fawemi, it's my pleasure to have you on the program today.
Thank you, Festus. It's a pleasure to be here.
Also with me here on the program today is Mr. Olubayo John, the CEO of Diaspora Reality Limited, United Kingdom. Olubayo has worked in several leading banks in Nigeria, including Diamond Bank, UBA, in various capacities. He was also a co-founder of EcoBuild Nigeria Limited, a property development company responsible for introducing the innovative EcoBeam sandbank building technology into the Nigeria real estate. He graduated from the University of Lagos and with a degree in mass communication, and he also has a master's degree in property development from the Robert Gordon University in Scotland. Mr. Olubayo has been involving himself in virtual exhibition at different times in UK and US. So it's my pleasure to have you, Mr. Olubayo John.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
And our iron lady for today, the lady of the house, Mudupe.
I'm happy to be here.
It's my pleasure having you. My very important guest speakers and all the participants, it's my pleasure again to welcome you to this special edition of webinar discussion on imperative of virtual exhibitions, the case of Abuja International Housing Show. I know a good number of participants here want to know how is Abuja International Housing Show going to look like this year? How are we going to connect? And on this platform today, we are going to go beyond that. We are going to educate some of you on the new level, the new normal that we have found ourselves. How can you reach out to a lot of people online How can you engage customers online? And how can you, without going around from one place or the other, how can you make sales for your organization? These are also parts of our focus on the program today. Now that Dupe is not here, I can see that our last speaker on the program, Mr. Saki Mukati, has connected with us. Mr. Saki is the marketing manager for Royal Ceramic. I've known him for over 14 years. He has nothing less than 16 years of experience in building material and ceramic technology. Spearheading brand and marketing team for Royal. Mr. Saki is talking to me, he's talking about branding, he's talking about marketing. He's an Indian who have decided to find a way to make a Nigerian. So it's my pleasure to have you, Mr. Saki, on the program today.
My pleasure, Mr. Festus, and greetings to all the panelists, co-panelists.
Distinguished panelists, I need to let you know that on this program are media partners from different newspapers who have connected to us. I also need to let you know that in the course of this program, there will be questions that will be sent to you. That is where we get to the third part of the program. The first part of the program now, our focus will be on presentation from our panelists one by one on matters that they're already aware of, which have to do with imperatives of virtual exhibition, the case of Abuja International Housing Show. For our participants, I want to thank you for connecting to us. We have been doing that almost 2 times in a week. We want to appreciate you. I want to assure you that today is going to be a special one that will have reasons to appreciate us for. Now to start the business of the day. I will be starting with the man I always call my leader, and who today is my guest speaker, the panelist on this program. I am talking of Barrister Akeem Ogunniran. Sir, I need you to start your discussion this afternoon with us with a focus on what are some of the disruptions to the real estate ecosystem and value chain. We will need you to do that, like for 5 minutes, to tell us what is going on in that sector. You have been involved in commercial real estate, you have been involved in residential, and you have also acted as a marketer and the chief executive officer of your organization. Where are we? Why do we need to change? What are the areas we need to connect? You are welcome.
Thank you very much, Festus. I think the best place to start probably is to go a bit down and to say that for the real estate sector in Nigeria, we were looking forward to a very vibrant 2020. For so many, there's been a lot of favorable macro developments, legislative interventions from 2017, the Pioneer Status legislation in 2017, the Finance Act in 2019, and a lot of strong macro fundamentals, particularly the crash of interest rates and yields on treasury bills. This created a very good environment for real estate. That at the beginning of this year, for the first time in about 10 years, it was clear that as an asset class, real estate had a fighting chance against other competing asset classes, because you are then able, so with a yield of 7 to 8%, you can compete against other instruments in the market. So that was the setting. But of course, COVID-19 has changed all that now. It's had a very major impact on the industry, and critical elements of the value chain are disrupted. So you have disruption of the value chain, or of the supply chains. Many people don't realize that China is the supply chain capital of the world. And for us in this industry, about 60 to 70% of our inputs are from China, are imported, and about 30% of that are from China. So when you have a situation where factories are closed down in China and all over the world, you can begin to imagine that the impact of that. So there's been major impact on the supply chain, that will lead to pipeline disruption. There are a lot of people now whose pipelines have been disrupted when the government forced lockdown of sites. And people must understand that construction is not plug and play. You don't just leave site and come back to site. You have to demobilize and you have to remobilize. So there's a whole lot of process that happens with that, and that has led to escalation of various costs, because people also don't understand that when you come back to site, there's a whole new protocols, HSE protocols, which has now been foisted upon developers and contractors, which they now have to comply with. So these are the major disruptions happening in the real estate sector. But if we take it to virtual Abuja Housing Show for 2020, I think that if we talk as a matter of strategic imperative, one of the things that every organization must always look out for when you have major disruption like this is how agile you are. To be one of the critical success factors for all organizations now is agility. You have to be nimble, you have to be flexible. Agility says you must think quickly, you must understand quickly, and you must act quickly. You must act in response to whatever disruption is happening in the marketplace. So I think it's important also that Abuja Housing Show as a melting pot of a lot of institutions around the world, that you have been able to quickly recreate yourself and to reposition yourself. I sit on the Council of Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and like I was telling you yesterday, last week we had a conference on Agric in West Africa, and there were over 5,500 participants, keying into that program. Now, 6 months ago, that would have been unimaginable, because we'll be looking for a venue that will probably accommodate 800 or 1,000, But just because the chamber was able to hold the conference online, we're able to reach people from all over the world. So I think that what has happened, to Abuja Housing Show trying to go virtual is a clear response to what has happened in the marketplace. And I also must mention that the old disruption by technology in the marketplace of real estate is all around one concept: property as a service, space as service. And Abuja Housing Show, as a player in that ecosystem, must also understand that with new rules around social interaction, around social distancing, you also have to recreate your value proposition in the same way that you can still deliver the same value, maybe at even lower prices, and put more value on the table for your customers. So I think that's how I understand the broad platform for what Abuja Housing Show is trying to do going virtual this time around. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Oguniran. Thank you, Mr. Akin Oguniran. You are always impressing me with your points. Every of your sentences must mean something valuable to somebody. I appreciate you for that presentation.
I love it. So, how's that going?
Aha! I see what's wrong.
What?
The wall doesn't match your elegance.
Then we must do something about it right away.
At Royal Ceramics, we offer you a wide range of beautiful wall and floor tiles designed specially to fit your lifestyle.
So, what do you guys think?
Thank goodness we changed to tiles.
I agree.
Like mother, like daughter.
Development Advocacy Network. We are the leading events and webinar platform in African real estate, a platform to connect with stakeholders in the housing industry across the globe. Our platform has over 1,000 live viewers per webinar, over 20 African and international countries. We engage a heterogeneous audience composed of decision makers. With over 120 minutes per webinar, you can reach over 40,000 global and Pan-African audience. Join Nigeria's leading brands, sponsor a webinar episode or series, or host your own webinar through our platform and speak to your own audience. Through our platform, you can reach a new audience composed of real estate developers and investors, property owners and facility managers, banks and financial institutions, construction and civil engineering firms, managing directors and chief executive officers of companies, wholesalers, retailers, property agencies, and even more. For inquiries, call the numbers displayed on your screen. The Housing Development Advocacy Network webinar platform is proudly sponsored by
Looking around the Nigerian society, it's easy to spot many developers, constructors, amongst others, who seem to be having a difficult time finding their feet in the housing industry, while some others apparently have valiantly stood and seem to be moving at a fast pace. One may be forced to ask the reason for this gap. The answer is not far-fetched. The difference is the right network, the right knowledge, right conferences, amongst others. An event like the Abuja International Housing Show, AIHS, is designed to create a platform for both the striving and established real estate and construction practitioners. Following the current global scourge of the coronavirus pandemic, which has made physical distancing inevitable and calls for new strategies and innovations that will meet the expectations and needs of our numerous clients, the organizers of Africa's largest housing and construction event, Abuja International Housing Show, have emerged with a virtual edition of the show. Digital AIHS 2020 is scheduled to be a 4-day event which will hold from 21st to 24th of July 2020, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily Nigerian time. The event is designed to be accessible to all participants globally via internet-connected devices such as computers, laptops, tablets, or mobile phones. This event will also be available on demand for a further 30 days after the first 5 live days. AIHS partners in not less than 15 countries will also be among participants and exhibitors. Digital AIHS 2020 will feature exhibitions held in a custom virtual environment where exhibitors will be allotted custom-built virtual booths. Attendees will also be able to engage in meaningful conversations with exhibitors using text, audio, and video chat in a 1:1 or group setting. The event will equally feature a selection of webinars delivered by leading industry experts, some of whom will field questions from the audience via Q&A sessions. The theme for this year's event is Housing Finance Innovations for 2020 and Beyond, Sustainable System for Cities. And sessions will cover a wide range of topics spanning the entire property value chain, from land acquisition to building quality. The AIHS, as usual, would be parading the highest number of professionals and government functionaries, including senators, ministers, governors, members of the House of Assembly, amongst others, and with an assortment of VIP speakers, among whom are Robert D. Brooksmith, President, Mortgage Bankers Association of America; Ian Shapiro, CEO, Real UK; Nusa Bukareb, Moroccan Minister for Housing and Urban Development; Andrew Chimponda, Shelter of Afrique, Kenya, and lots more. It's indeed expected to be the game changer for every participant. Why a virtual AIHS event? Safest platform for linking participants from all over the world without exposing people to the risk of the coronavirus pandemic. Wider audience reach, including attendees from around the globe, giving even the smallest exhibitor the potential of accessing huge new markets. Massive cost savings for exhibitors and attendees alike. No flight, hotel, entertaining or printed brochure expenses. Cost per lead is significantly lower than a conventional event. No financial or geographical barriers to visitor attendance. significantly higher attendance than conventional events. Attend at your convenience with regular live presentations with a unique range of speakers and on-demand presentations. Immediate and controlled communication with your audience. More efficient use of time for partners, attendees, and sponsors. AIHS is the largest housing and construction conference and exhibition in Africa. The show, which is built to hold from the 21st to the 24th of July, is open for registration to participants world over. Participants are kindly urged to visit www.ihsabuja.com.
Now, before I go to the second person, this is very important for me to recognize the lady in the house. Not easy for me to get her to be part of this program. That is Modupe Ogunyemi. He's a seasoned marketing communication professional with solid work experience spanning Africa, Europe, and North America. Modupe has worked at Free Arts Classified, the largest independent online marketplace in the United Kingdom. He has worked in the tech digital space ever since, leading social media, digital marketing teams in top organizations, including Access Bank, Konga e-commerce, and Naspers, the South Africa media giant and owners of DSTV. She currently spearheads the content group marketing function for a technology SaaS company in Canada with operations in multiple countries. So it's my pleasure to have you on the program, Modupe Ogunyemi, today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adebayo. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm more than happy to participate in this very auspicious event.
I know a lot of my participants are waiting to see how they can benefit from your wealth of experience looking at places you have gone, adding value. So now I'm going to Olaseni Fawemi. Mr. Fawemi, you are a consummate marketing and communication professional. What do you think we need at this point in the real estate sector? What do you think? Do you think going virtual by Abuja International Housing Show is in order? It is time for us to hear from you.
Thank you, Festus. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, let me express my delight and pleasure to be part of this event this afternoon. And I also want to congratulate you, Festus, being agile, like Mr. Ogunyemi has talked about. And I think that's a key point to highlight immediately. How responsive are we to the changes within the environment? And by the strategic shift to take this very reputable asset in terms of the real estate industry in Nigeria online, the first, it's historic, it's pioneering, and we must commend you. And I think that is a sign, to everyone in the industry. We're in the new normal. We've been in a lockdown for about 3 months. We're just coming out of it. The PTF gave the guidelines just yesterday, where they released fresh information about opening up the economy. But we all know that an economy that has more or less grinded to a stop in the last 3 months would take a bit of booting to rev up to full maximum and potential. And it's important that that agility in the real estate sector be really pronounced. And when you look at the options that are available, where we can be nimble, where we can be dynamic, it's really in our processes. and our business model. Traditionally, the real estate sector has been a bit resistant, to changes within the ecosystem generally. And if you look at other sectors, if you look at banking, if you look at retail, and even to a large extent hospitality, there's a lot more dynamism in terms of how they are able to make the customer experience and the process from pre-sale, sale, and post-sale a lot more seamless. But for the real estate industry, because of the nature, it has been a lot more traditional. But what COVID-19 has forced industries, organizations to do is to embrace the technologies that have always been with us, for a while. And that's where the digital technologies come to play. And that's where the Abuja International Show is taking a major leap after 13 editions to take this year's edition online. And I think for the real estate industry, we need to be looking at our processes. We need to be looking at how we serve the customer. We need to be looking at the experience. In the last 3 months, the habits of customers have changed. People are doing everything online now. Industries are moved completely online. If you look at retail, if you look at the TV industry, entertainment, hospitality, to a large extent, they've been forced to move online. And those behaviors and habits are not going to change because people are saying that, oh, it's more cost effective. I can work from home. I can still be as effective. So organizations are saying instead of spending so much, on office space, Google, Twitter, they've all announced that their employees can all work from home till 2021. So those habits, those behavioral changes, obviously, are also going to impact the real estate industry. And key decision makers now are all online. Their decisions are being taken online. So for the real estate industry, we need to be looking at our entire processes, from pre-sale to sale and post-sale, and see how we can shift a lot of that online and ensure that customers don't necessarily have to move from their homes to sites, and which is why the virtual exhibition is so spot on. And I think that speaks to the industry generally. So we'll talk a whole lot more how the industry can be a lot more aggressive, it can be a lot more dynamic in terms of being digitally friendly and integrating digital technologies through the value chain and services in which they provide to the customer. And I think lastly, customer experience will really define brands, would define value creation, would define value addition going forward, because customers are now a lot more informed. There's so much information online, so they're not just listening to what you are saying. They have experts online. There are a lot of participants and guests that are also here. So they are not just here. We've seen the amount of webinars that we've had in the last 3 months. So customers are a lot more informed now. And it's important that the real estate industry provide that information to customers online, real time, to ensure that the decisions they need to make can be made to the best of not just the customer's ability, but organizations within the real estate industry. And I think there's a whole lot of value, to be captured by the real estate industry if we are dynamic, if we are fast, if we are aggressive in embracing the technologies and the new normal, and ensure that we do not go back to the traditional mode of our processes in the real estate industry. Thank you, Festus.
Thank you, Mr. Sini. That's a very, very great presentation from you. You have met my expectation, but you have to be getting ready. How do we make our sector more aggressive? I would like to hear from you when I return back to you. Now, I'll be going to Mr. Malam Bashar Abad. Malam Bashar Abad of the Urban Shelter Limited. You are one of the partners of Abuja International Housing Show. Every year you come around. What exactly have you been doing before this time that we can regard as digital or virtual? And now that Abuja Housing Show decided to go virtual, what exactly is your response to this, and what do you have as expectations?
Thank you, Festus. Really want to appreciate you on behalf of Urban Shelter, the entire team here. I want to thank you so much for your contribution. I want to thank you so much again for the innovation, the ability of changing, the adaptability to what we live in. Some of the people that talked before me talked about being locked down for 3 months. It's been difficult. It's been hard, but we keep it safe. We're trying the best we can, and I hope everybody else there is keeping safe as well. At Urban Shelter, I think in the past 6-7 years, we've been really doing a lot of going virtual, going online. That was not really due to the fact that we had issue reaching our clientele. The main purpose was to expose the company to a lot bigger audience, to be able to go borderless. As we know today, you and I talked about it, Festus. We registered 1,500, 3,000 people to your exhibition. This year, you're probably going to talk about 20,000, 30,000, because you don't have to leave your house to get to the exhibition. You don't have to leave your office to get to the exhibition. So I'm thinking, with the fact that we're going borderless right now, with the fact that we're going virtual, a lot of people will be able to key into what we're doing, to key into what we expose as product, and to be able to key into the product itself. Urban Shelter, since early 2012, I believe we spent a lot of energy to create platforms. I think our websites can speak for itself. In the fact that we provide that platform that can serve as an interaction between our clients and the product that we provide here. We've gotten gateways that allow you to even pay some of the services online. We provide a gateway that can be able to provide you with a one-on-one sort of seminars online. As far as expectation for the 2020 housing show, I believe all the partners, including Urban Shelter, can tell you that this year the game is different. Almost all the things that we used to do physically, the challenge to you first now today is to be able to give us the platform to be able to do the same online. That being said, I think a lot of energy needs to be spent on IT infrastructure. It's something that not that we lack, but we have a lot of issue with in Nigeria. One thing we need to do is to be able to get a solid infrastructure system that allow people to get in and out, that allow people to navigate easily through the platform, and to be able to have a backup also in case of failure. People will also be able to get back into the exhibition. On the second thing, I think the quality of what we're proposing. A lot of people go to events for networking. Some of them go for different purposes. This year we're going online. When you go online, the most important element is the quality of the content. So you all agree with me today that what we provide as presentation to this virtual exhibition would have to have a tremendous amount of quality. As far as who's speaking, as far as the team that we're speaking about, as far as the content of what we're providing. And you're gonna have a lot of reach out. You would have questions from China, questions from Canada, questions from the US. So we need to be able to have a system, a platform that be able to support that issues. I think that would be my, to an extent, part of my expectation to this 2020 new virtual exhibition that we have.
Thank you, Malam Bashar Abad. As usual, Urban Shelter has brilliant team, and at various times I've acknowledged your own brilliancy and the crucial role you are playing in Urban Shelter. I must say I appreciate you. I must say thank you to you for your contribution, your first contribution on this platform today. I'm going to the lady in the house now, and that is Modupe Ogunyemi. You have heard from Urban Shelter. You can now see that even some of our real estate partners are already on the feed. Grazie. So now I need to hear from you. So what are the emerging digital marketing technologies that you think the real estate sector need to employ?
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. It's been great hearing all the very intelligent and valuable contributions from all the people that have spoken before me. I think that where technology is concerned with real estate, it's not so much emerging technology because a lot of these things have been in place before now. I think what COVID-19 has done is to accelerate the adoption of these technologies. I mean, because of the imperatives of physical distancing, social distancing, and just the realities of our new lives now, that essential element of people being able to physically see for big ticket items like properties, like houses and all, you would want to go through the buyer buying model before you drop the money. So you want to see what you want to buy. You want to think about it. You want to feel it before you drop the money, and that's the essential component of real estate commerce, right? Now that we're in this new normal, this new COVID-19 normal, I don't want to call it a problem. So the essential case for all real estate practitioners is to now think of how to continue to deliver this commerce, this component of commerce to people virtually using technology. And a lot of the things that I have seen here from this part of the world that the real estate industry has adopted is things like virtual tours. So Facebook launched something called Oculus Rift about 9-8 years ago. And it's something that real estate companies started to use as far back as 5 years ago, whereby they go into a property or a block of condos, they map the property using 3D technology and put that into a virtual immersive experience that you as a customer can come put on the Oculus Rift, or they can actually even send it to you in your house. You put it on and you go through the property room by room, furniture by furniture. You can actually it's a very interactive, immersive experience. You can change the color of the wall. You can move furniture around, and you've not left your house. You can feel, you can develop an emotional connection to the property without actually leaving your house. So this is something that I've seen an accelerated adoption of by real estate companies in this part of the world, and it's only a question of time before it goes mainstream in Nigeria and the rest of Africa as well, because it just completely solves the problem of people not being able to physically or not wanting to physically go and visit multiple properties before they make the decision to buy. And I think it's also something that has a fantastic use case for a virtual exhibition like Abuja House and Show, because it helps you replicate the experience of the exhibition virtually, 3D live, without people having to gather, and it still gives all participants the network effects of having the convergence of eyeballs to view all the things that they would ordinarily have exhibited physically, virtually, without having to leave their respective locations. It also affords everyone the opportunity of being able to actually participate from virtually everywhere in the world. As long as you have the internet, you can sign on, like I have done right now, from miles and miles away, and see what's on offer, what's being showcased at the exhibition. Some of the other trends that I've noticed is from China. I mean, we're always going back to China, because the truth is, in terms of technology right now, especially where real estate is, I think they are leading the rest of the world. They are leading even us in North America. In terms of commerce and using technology as a commerce accelerator, some of the best use cases I've seen in recent times have been in China. In March, just 2 months ago, a particular property company in China conducted a live stream sort of sales session, something similar to an exhibition, but this time around they did actual sales. And I'll tell you that in 30 minutes, they actually sold 102 apartments. And by the end of the session, the live stream, they had sold over 1,000 apartments on a live stream. I've not seen that anywhere else, not even in the US, and that's a post-COVID sort of reality, sort of adaptation to a new normal and being agile, like Mr. Ogunora said, to be able to take advantage of technology drivers to continue the business of real estate, to continue commerce and not interrupt it in any way. So I think these are fantastic options that we can bring down home and adapt to our own needs as a people and as a market to continue to move the real estate industry in Nigeria forward.
Thank you, Madam. Oh, no, I'm not going to use Madam.
This Moduka is fine.
You are so wonderful. I appreciate your contributions. I must tell you, in the month of April, while we were on lockdown, one of my partners on the Television Continental, TVC, our housing development program. So we placed the adverts. So they use the phone number to locate their website. They go to the website. They made inquiry, and luckily, the website had a live chat where they were able to chat with the customer and a lot of the staff. And at the end of the day, from the website, the customer moved to the site virtually, that is through a virtual tour. Got there, entered into the rooms one by one. It was fantastic. And at the end of the day, the caller came back to us and said he has gotten all the information he needed and this and that. What can we say about this company? I would say the company is fantastic. Go ahead. Do you know that we sold a product of 250 million in the month of April while all of us were locked down?
That's exactly what we're talking about. That's why I think, for me, I would say COVID-19 is actually a good thing. I know that there are sectors of the economy that have been impacted by this, but I think that one of the best things from COVID-19 is the fact that it has forced us as people and businesses in our different sectors to actually think creatively and innovatively about how we can innovate our processes and carry on and not go underwater. I think that's a fantastic use case that you just shared, and it's something, the reality that we are seeing here as well. Even for normal everyday life, like you going out to lease apartments here. Ordinarily, you would have open houses where the company lives in the apartment, or the owner lives in the apartment, would organize an open house. All of you would come, you would inspect the property and then put in an offer and go ahead and lease the apartment. But now it's been virtual house tours, virtual leasing, and also what it then means on the part of the realtor or the part of the property company is that you now have to invest in top-notch technology, because if you want to make a sale if you want to make a virtual sale, then you have to cover all the bases. You have to basically be able to showcase within that virtual tour every single thing that the prospective buyer would want to see if you were there physically, in order to move that deal across the line, in order to help him make the purchase decision. So it now behoves on the property, on that end of the value chain, to invest in solid technology, to invest in solid camera, solid equipment that would help to put this together and create an excellent virtual customer experience.
Thank you, Modupe. I must tell you that COVID-19 has also made me to discover you, and sincerely speaking, I have decided to establish a platform now to help real estate companies, building materials company. I've said not only that I have a TV platform, we now have a webinar platform to focus on your projects for 1 hour and bring in people around the world and do as advised by by Modupe. But Modupe, the danger aspect of this thing is this. Majority of our marketing officers, executives, may lose their job. So what do you see to that? Sorry, I have to spend more time with you.
I'm a marketing executive. It's all about continuing to innovate. Look, the life that we live in right now, and I think it's always been this way. If you cannot continue to innovate as a person, as a business, as whatever, then you're gonna become obsolete. You're gonna become obsolete.
Marketing officers are expected to also develop themselves.
I started out in traditional marketing. I started out in broadcasting. I used to work with channels. That's where I started out very many years ago. So I started from traditional, moved to digital. Now I work in technology. You have to continue to innovate. That's just the way life is. You can't, it's just like how everyone is talking about AI and robotics and how they may, take over our jobs and all. That's, you can decide to stay in that position, in that mental state and whine about how robots are going to come take over your work. Or you can decide to go learn what the technology behind robotics so that you can be the person directing that. Right, and still be relevant in an AI world, in a robotic world, and all that and all that. So, if as a marketer you've seen that the world is digitizing, virtually the traditional industries are digitizing because of COVID-19, then you should go learn the digital transformation. You should go learn how you can make yourself relevant and vital in a digital world. It's really as simple as that.
Thank you, Modupe. Now I'll be going to Saki. Mr. Saki, you are the marketing manager for Royal Ceramic. You can hear what Modupe has been saying. You see, can you tell us what you have been doing digitally, even before COVID-19? And now that the COVID-19 has come, I am your partner. What expectations are you now having from us?
Well, thank you, Festus, first of all, for giving us a chance. On behalf of Royal Ceramic, I wish all the panelists and you good afternoon. Before the COVID-19, we were on the digital platform, but our budgets were 10% of what we have spent. Month-on-month budget was only 10% of what we have spent in last 2 months. So COVID-19 actually from March 15th of March or 1st of April till now, I have spent more than 15 million on Facebook and Google ads and various other platforms. Actually, when people were getting shut down, we thought it is an opportunity for the company to reach out to many more customers. And believe me, it has been a boon, because if I release an ad, if I go for a, what do you call, hoarding, billboard, I spend millions on a Lekki or in Abuja, in a central business area, and I don't know how many people are visiting or viewing my ad. Whereas I have spent, I can tell you exact figures, I have spent 4 million on Facebook ad from April 1st to May 1st. The number of leads per day I have got is 800, with 800 average leads per day. On Google ads, I have spent 5 million in the whole month. I had budgeted from April 1st to May 1st. From May 1st to June 1st, I doubled my spending. The number of impressions I got was 50,000 impressions, average impressions per day. That was the monthly budget. I'm just giving you a figure. And whereas in traditional media, I do not get the database, I do not get the lead, and I do not know who's viewing my ad, who is not viewing my. Here, I'm counting every penny I'm spending, every kobo I have spent. So that is one thing. And I after this 3 months contract, I have told my digital guys to double the budget on. We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, we are on all social media, we are on all digital platforms currently relevant to our industry. We are on blogs. along with that, we are also doing organic marketing, which on Instagram, let's say on Instagram or on Facebook, it helps us boost our paid campaigns. So I believe that digital marketing is cheaper, more effective, and it is the way to the future, because everything is on your screen right now. Even when you are in office, everything is on your screen, in your phone, either on your phone or on your tab. So to reach the customer on your screen was the primary objective in this lockdown, and we found it to be doubly rewarding, not doubly, multiple time rewarding than going into traditional media. Second thing, one of the challenges our industry, building industry and real estate industry face, whereas the e-commerce industry has already addressed that, is the trust. If they pay us online or they book our products online, are they doing the right thing? It was the same challenge that the e-commerce industry faced in the early 90s when they started. The customers were not aware if they pay something online, is it trustworthy? When Amazon or eBay came and broke that chain, and they said, yes, we can, you can pay online without actually visiting the shop, yet you will get the delivery of the products. They created that faith actually. So we are trying to go into the next level where people visit our showroom virtually. They don't need to go into Lekki traffic or island traffic, or they don't need to go into Use traffic to come to our showroom. Let them sit in their home. We will take them on a virtual tour of our showroom or any AI or VR aided tool through our showroom. Then they can select the product they want. They can mix and match in their, especially for the developers, mix and match in their project and book them, give them a query or give us a booking, and we will make sure that we deliver it to site. It is easier said than done, but the first work of a virtual showroom tour has started. The virtual showroom tour we will implement within the next month, which will make real estate players and architects life very easy. Without driving, they can just select their products, they can book the products online, or they can talk to someone, one of our marketeers through phone or WhatsApp, choose their product, and they get the delivery done. These are various avenues we can explore, but I feel I am also from marketing background. I am from out and out advertising and brand communication, and I started in agency, like Modupe started in channels. So I started in one of the biggest agencies of the world, Grey. From there to endorse digital platform is a big leap. As she rightly said, we have to evolve ourselves. So we evolved instantly at the word go. So everyone has to evolve. For people like us and the real estate player, one of the key challenges we will face in the e-commerce sector is the faith, creation of faith that if they pay money online, their money is safe. That faith has been created by the likes of Amazon or the likes of eBay or the likes of Konga and Jumia. So we need to take up that challenge and create that faith. If someone is trusting us with their value on asset, we should be able to deliver. That is one part. And that is one part. When it comes to AIHS, one of the major reasons why I wanted to endorse the virtual exhibition is I want to support it so that it evolves. It becomes a more seamless experience. We can save on so many things and connect so many number of more people if the thing goes virtual. Some panelists sitting at home can give us a lecture in Sweden or Europe or China or Middle East, can give us a lecture or go through its paper, and we'll be learning more through AIHS. Whereas making them fly and staying in hotel may not be always possible. That is one of the reasons. Plus, if we support technology now, I'm sure technology will evolve. That is another key factor why I wanted to support the virtual AIHS. And I believe this thing is a starting point, Festus. This thing is a starting point. We can go long in this. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Saki, just a wonderful time with you on your presentations. I don't know that your company has gone deep. So very soon now we'll be having your virtual factory, where you are doing the products, and then we can also see your warehouse virtually. Please, I have my team already assembled to support you technically. Dupa is with me, and Seni, these are my team. So maybe me and you have to discuss that later. And Olubayo is there in the UK with me almost every time. Please, Saki, I hope you hear that. Now, I must say from what Mr. Saki has said, Olubayo John, in January last year, told me we cannot continue to have physical AIHS again. I want it to be World Housing Show, where those people who are doing their own physically can be there and other people can do their own virtually. Unfortunately, I did not listen to Olubayo. But when COVID-19 came, COVID-19 forced me to go virtual. Then I have to call Olubayo. Olubayo today is the MD of the Diaspora Reality Company, PropTech company based in Manchester, UK, and he is our partner, the marketing partner for AIHS 2020. So, Olubayo, how is UK today?
The UK is good.
I want to know what is your agenda? How can people exhibit? A good number of people that are connected now are still seen as magical. We thank God for Basheta, they understand. Roya understand. Please, can you give some explanation on how it's going to be and how they are going to upload their products on the virtual?
Okay, thank you, Festus. Like you said, we've been on this road for a couple of months now. Given the fact that some of us live abroad, it became obvious that adopting a digital strategy, creating a digital platform was probably the most cost-effective way for people who live in other parts of the world, like Modupe, in Canada, and people like myself, people in America, all parts of the world, that adopting, taking advantage of a digital platform was probably the most effective way, the most cost-effective way to go about reaching those new markets. As you said, last year we were looking at this, and it's quite interesting how COVID-19 has just literally, within a couple of months, brought about a change of, attitude, a change of mindset, amongst people in the market. Some people have argued that, the real estate industry essentially is, in comparison to its peers, is a digital dinosaur. We're pretty much far behind several other industries in terms of the adoption of technology. There's so many Nigerians who live abroad, who are interested in the property market in Nigeria. And we saw a while back that adopting a digital strategy was probably the only way to go about. If you ask somebody to travel all the way from wherever it is, maybe Canada, to come down to the Abuja International Show, it'll be quite challenging. But given that we're adopting a digital platform at the moment, it creates a much wider audience, and people from all parts of the world can have access to property developers, products, and people can digitally access information that they need to make the decisions they need, because essentially what people are looking for is information they need to make probably what would be the most important decision, or of their life in terms of how much it will cost. I mean, in this part of the world, buying a house is probably the most expensive thing that most people would do. And you can see that in this part of the world, there's been a lot more digital penetration. There's a lot more digital transformation in the real estate market. But unfortunately, back home, I mean, in other sectors, there's been a lot of progress, I must admit. But in the real estate sector, we still seem to be a bit slow, in adopting, some of these technologies. I still see properties on some of the various websites that we have, and you see people putting properties online, and you see things like empty paint buckets and, properties in various stages of, not even cleaned up. I'm like, this is not how to sell, property. If I want to buy, you see properties in this part of the world, and they are staged. A new property, they probably put, even if it's an old property, you probably see them with furniture and a staged property. So it gives you a sense of what that property would look like even before I move into the property myself. So, I mean, the Abuja International Housing Show, the digital version is a very, very timely thing. It's unfortunate that it had to take COVID, to get us to that point, but it's also a great opportunity because it's important for the real estate industry also to be digitally proactive. We need to begin to see how we can adopt technology solutions, to provide technology to provide solutions to customers. I mean, it's COVID today. We don't know what it's going to be tomorrow. I mean, nobody's praying for any terrible thing, but we need to begin to see even now how we can adopt technology, in such a way that we make things easier and simpler, simpler for people. So, the emergence of a digital version of the, Abuja International Housing Show, it's more than a welcome development. And for people who are really interested in trying to grow their markets, trying to reach out to, I'll share lastly a very funny story. I remember when I came for the Abuja International Show last year, and I was in Abuja, and some of the people that were there, they gave me, some of the corporate gifts. And I remember I got 2 mugs, and I took the mugs back to Lagos, and, my mom saw the mugs, and my mom was like, why did they give you 2 mugs? At least one person should have given you a mug, and one person should have given you, tea and sugar, for you to use with the mugs. But, with a digital version of things, you don't have to, the costs are lower, like we've all said, wider reach, it's more flexible, it's more convenient. It just ticks so many boxes, and I hope that a lot of people will avail themselves of the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Olubayo. That's a very good presentation. Just as I told you earlier, Abuja International Housing Show has already planned that this year we are going to have virtual. So we were planning that apart from where people are gathering together physically, we will engage in virtual. So we will not show them the other side of it. But do you know that if you begin to have 2 sides of this program, that these are the benefits you'll be having. So people who cannot come, just like Mr. Saki has explained, so people right inside their room, they'll be negotiating with Urban Shelter. They'll be talking to Royal Ceramic. Just like what my sister Bodupe said, the kind of transaction that took place virtually, that was exactly where we were going. But unfortunately, God wanted us to go there totally. We didn't have any mind to drop this physical. We are still going to go physical. But I need to announce to all the participants that we will not be having 2 versions. Let my colleagues in the media take note of that. Abuja Housing Show will now be having 2 versions every year. I remember a governor in Nigeria once requested from me that I should come and have a version of Abuja International Housing Show in his state. And I remember telling the governor, that, sorry, Your Excellency, it will be too strenuous for me. Now, we may decide to see how to go around that. But the fact remains, Abuja Housing Show has gone physical and has also gone virtual. And that is the way to go annually. At this point, let us have a short break. A few minutes more to go. And when I come back, I will tell you to just round up your points on this discussion. I will be right back in a minute.
Looking around the Nigerian society, it's easy to spot many developers, constructors, amongst others, who seem to be having a difficult time finding their feet in the housing industry, while some others apparently have valiantly stood and seem to be moving at a fast pace. One may be forced to ask the reason for this gap. The answer is not far-fetched. The difference is the right network, the right knowledge, right conferences, amongst others. An event like the Abuja International Housing Show, AIHS, is designed to create a platform for both the striving and established real estate and construction practitioners. Following the current global scourge of the coronavirus pandemic, which has made physical distancing inevitable and calls for new strategies and innovations that will meet the expectations and needs of our numerous clients, the organizers of Africa's largest housing and construction event, Abuja International Housing Show, have emerged with a virtual edition of the show. Digital AIHS 2020 is scheduled to be a 4-day event which will hold from 21st to 24th of July 2020, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily Nigerian time. The event is designed to be accessible to all participants globally via internet-connected devices such as computers, laptops, tablets, or mobile phones. This event will also be available on demand for a further 30 days after the first 5 live days. AIHS partners in not less than 15 countries will also be among participants and exhibitors. Digital AIHS 2020 will feature exhibitions held in a custom virtual environment where exhibitors will be allotted custom-built virtual booths. Attendees will also be able to engage in meaningful conversations with exhibitors using text, audio, and video chat in a 1:1 or group setting. The event will equally feature a selection of webinars delivered by leading industry experts, some of whom will field questions from the audience via Q&A sessions. The theme for this year's event is Housing Finance Innovations for 2020 and Beyond, Sustainable System for Cities. And sessions will cover a wide range of topics spanning the entire property value chain, from land acquisition to building quality. The AIHS, as usual, will be parading the highest number of professionals and government functionaries, including senators, ministers, governors, members of the House of Assembly, amongst others, and with an assortment of VIP speakers, among whom are Robert D. Brooksmith, President, Mortgage Bankers Association of America; Ian Shapiro, CEO, Real UK; Nusa Bukareb, Moroccan Minister for Housing and Urban Development; Andrew Chimponda, Shelter Afrique, Kenya, and lots more. It's indeed expected to be the game changer for every participant. Why a virtual AIHS event? Safest platform for linking participants from all over the world without exposing people to the risk of the coronavirus pandemic. Wider audience reach, including attendees from around the globe, giving even the smallest exhibitor the potential of accessing huge new markets. Massive cost savings for exhibitors and attendees alike. No flight, hotel, entertaining or printed brochure expenses. Cost per lead is significantly lower than a conventional event. No financial or geographical barriers to visitor attendance. Significantly higher attendance than conventional events. Attend at your convenience with regular live presentations with a unique range of speakers and on-demand presentations. Immediate and controlled communication with your audience. More efficient use of time for partners, attendees, and sponsors. AIHS is the largest housing and construction conference and exhibition in Africa. The show, which is built to hold from the 21st to the 24th of July, is open for registration to participants world over. Participants are kindly urged to visit www.ihsabuja.com.
Nice to be back. I hope you enjoy that video. That video gives us a summary of how AIHS 2020 Digital Health is going to look like. Our exhibitors are going to enjoy themselves. We'll be expecting them to give us video clip of all the products they would like to exhibit. If Urban Shelter is exhibiting 4 projects, 5 projects, we need video of each of the projects one by one. We need a write-up of the project one by one, so that each of those things can be available. And right from their office, they will have staff who will be responsible for responding to active chats. And that will last for 4 days. During those 4 days, we're going to be connected to Housing Development Program on AIT Live for people to know what exactly is happening on our AIHS Digital Exhibition. I must tell you that some organizations have already confirmed the sponsorship of the AIHS 2020. I must acknowledge Cosgrove. Cosgrove was the first company to come out, and they said they won the highest sponsorship for the AIHS 2020, a headliner sponsor for AIHS 2020. All our sponsors are going to have 4 weeks of free adverts on our television program, on AIT, on TV and TVC. The cost implication of that alone is very huge, but we have decided to give that for them for the purpose of supporting them. That is where we are with AIHS 2020 Digital Exhibition. Now, I want us to now round up with your last statement on this program today, my very important guest speaker. I will start with Mr. Saki. So please say his last word. From Mr. Saki, I'll be going to Mr. Olaseni, who we also round up. We like to stop in the next 20 minutes. So please don't spend more than 3 minutes to do your round-up presentation on this program. Mr. Saki, we need your last statement. You have done beautifully well in your presentation. What is your last word on this webinar discussion today?
Thank you, Festus. I will heartily congratulate AIHS first to take this giant leap. My only thing is, now with the digital platform, we will have higher ROIs. How? The cost per acquisition of one customer will be significantly lower for us. So when the cost per acquisition per customer reduces, the return on investment for the same customer increases. So we are very pleased and we openly give our support to the virtual AIHS on this platform. We announce right now that we will be one of the leading sponsors of virtual AIHS. And
you're welcome.
Thank you. And going digital is the way forward. It has been there since last 15 years, but more so, the society in general has to think digitally. Has to. Even the shopping, the normal shopping we do, the normal buying we do, the normal travel we do, we have to think digitally. With this new COVID scenario, the new scenario that has happened into the world. So, thirdly, I will also like to mention that in this virtual platform, I will again stress on the faith trust factor. So everything is all right when the bandwidth is good, the internet speeds are good, we can actually deliver the customer. But to create that trust factor needs a bit of time, which I think we will eventually overcome. And I wish all the best to the AIHS team for their virtual exhibition this year. I hope to be there on the platform very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Royal Ceramic. We appreciate you and we promise continue to give you our loyalty on Housing Development Program, on television, on Housing TV, and on Housing Development Program on TVC and Housing Time on Repower. Instead of going to Mr. Olaseni, I want to go to Modupe. I need to hear from you your last statements. Do I think later.
Thank you very much. I'm going to tie in my last statement to a question I saw in the Q&A, and it also has a bit to do with what Shakti just said, which is bandwidth. So someone asked about how the Abuja Housing Show might navigate the issue of oversubscribed bandwidth, or just basically internet connectivity in Nigeria to ensure that participants are able to avail themselves of a seamless virtual exhibition experience. And I said that's a very interesting question, and it also throws up, it helps to spotlight interesting avenues that the Abuja Housing Show can take advantage of, because it's already a powerful brand. It's a brand that has been built for over a decade. It's in a unique position to partner with ISPs and telcos to zero rate. So there are a number of ways in which you can get data sort of allowance, for want of a better word. And this is something that I've done with a few companies in Nigeria while I was still in Nigeria. So there are ways where you can zero rate an internet experience or an internet product for a period of time. And what that means is that people can access an internet-enabled service without actually having to use their own data. So you sign on, you go through the normal steps of getting on to the portal or whatever, but you're not actually burning data. There's also the opportunity of partnering with ISPs for the exhibition, whereby they can allocate a dedicated internet gateway for the Abuja Housing Show for the duration of the exhibition. So these are all opportunities that are available, and I trust that Mr. Festus is already looking into to ensure that the virtual exhibition goes seamlessly.
Thank you, Modupe. I'm happy that we're together in this business, and you got the right answers for the person. I have seen the questions as well. I was thinking of giving the response later, but I'm pleased that I responded. I'm working with Seni here, with Bayo, and you as well. And right away, even the last Abuja International Housing Show, we partner with Entel in Nigeria to provide internet base in the exhibition hall of Abuja International Housing Show. You can be rest assured that accessing the platform will be very easy. You can also be rest assured that we will not have any problem with the server. We also need to let you know that we get good partnership from the best telecommunication company in the country. We have built good name through our housing development program on television. Everybody wants us to be partnering with us. Everybody wants us to be displaying their logo on television every time. So we can be rest assured. We want to assure all our participants that are connected, who are waiting to hear information on this subject matter, that we are ready. We have the record in the housing industry that everything we do is always excellent. And that's what we've been doing for years. So thank you, Modupe. Thanks for a very beautiful response to that. And now I'm going to Olaseni Fawemi.
Thank you, Festus. I've had a great time listening to all the contributions, starting with my boss, Mr. Oguniro, and then getting different insights from the different markets. And I think for me, the most important thing is really the customer experience and tying the process in such a way that it's seamless. So Royal Ceramics have talked about how they're investing heavily in digital from a marketing awareness creation perspective, and how that has improved their ROI. And I think beyond that, we need to look at it from an ecosystem perspective, which is why I talk about pre-sale, sale, and post-sale, so that you have a seamless experience. What that does for you is that you build a community of loyalists and fans, who then become further ambassadors of your brand. So it's important that we don't just take it in a piecemeal approach. We look at it from a more holistic process and look at the gaps. So there are so many ways in which we can automate, we can improve the experience. And then we also have to start to communicate a whole lot more in terms of our brand story. So for the real estate industry, it's still very functional, I guess because of the structure. But now that we are going digital, there are opportunities to connect a whole lot better in terms of our storytelling, and how we build brand ambassadors and loyalists for our organizations and for our industry. And I think the other thing also, which Festus alluded to, was the fear about practitioners in the industry, about losing their jobs because of automation. And I think Modupe has talked about that. And I think organizations also in the industry should drive the digital upskilling of their staff and see how they can become more of digital natives. So it's not just Modupe and maybe Olubayo, that speaks so profoundly about digital, but we also build up the industry and ensure that people are empowered, and I think the shift would be a whole lot more seismic in terms of moving the industry online. On a final note, it's about the mindset. Let's not take the same behaviors offline, and take them online, because the experience is completely different. We have to invest in multimedia. We have to invest in content that keep people seated, because part of the challenges of virtual is that people get bored when they sit for too long. But when your content is dynamic, when it's rich, when it's really engaging, then you can get people seated down, for hours, just like we do with the movies. So once again, congratulations to the Abuja International Housing Show. Thank you for having me, and thank you to all.
Thank you, Mr. Seni. Really, a good technical partner. I'm happy what you have done. What you have said is what I expected you. We continue to hold our meeting, and I'm happy all of us know the area to look into to ensure that our customers get the best satisfactions. Issue of content is very important. On our website, on our ordinaryafricahousingnews.com, we don't have less than 10,000 visitors on a daily basis. And we have been having estate developers who are becoming that they want to place adverts. A mortgage bank, I remember Platinum Mortgage Bank placed an advert. I gave them a bill, and they came back. After paying the bill, they came back again. So, and that something must have been attracting them to be placing the advert there. I'm sure they have not gotten the value. They will have stopped that. So we are going to do a lot of content. And you can see from the video we play for you, we have best speakers. Not people who are coming here to talk. No. The people that people have been waiting for to hear policy statements. So I am very sure the way people have been waiting at Abuja International Housing Show, the same thing we are going to repeat here. So thank Mr. Seni. I appreciate your contribution and participation in this. Malam Haba Abbas, Bashar Haba, where are you? Are you here?
Thank you very much, Festus. I've been listening to the reassurance between you and John regarding the infrastructure, the platform, the easy, friendly navigation that we'll have for this 2020. I'm excited, to be honest. I'm really excited. I really want to thank you, John, for your put on this, helping out the team to get this up. We're looking forward to an interesting year. Being able to reach beyond your boundary, like I always say, it's priceless. We are Urban Shelter. Like I said, we've been really working hard for the past few years to reach out to our diaspora. We've been doing a lot of work with organizations like yours, John, in the UK, in the US, in Canada, in China, to be able to get that reach. And I think with this opportunity that you're giving us for Abuja Housing Show, it reduces tremendously the amount of cost that we have, but by doing that alone. Right now we have a platform. The Abuja Housing Show is going virtual, it's going online. everybody can reach it from everywhere. And I think that's, that's something to be proud of, That's something to congratulate you guys on. One thing I want to say at the end is to bring the attention to some of the partners, friend of ours, and and people that come along and support us in this adventure. Is that an online virtual exhibition is not the same as a physical exhibition. So our expectation might need to be guided towards what is it we're trying to provide when it comes to our online exhibitions. It's like comparing orange and apples. So we need to be careful about, okay, this is the expectation, this is what we're trying to do. At the end of it, like I always said, it's about reaching the customer, it's about reaching the client. And what will I say about customer experience? At the end of the day, that's what we're looking for. So long as the customer is happy, we're all happy in this industry. And if it's virtual or physical, at the end of the aim of it is to be able to have a customer experience that we can be proud of, that we can be proud of, that we can be satisfied with. And on that note, really, I want to say congrats to all of you guys that have been involved in the project. I want to say we're looking forward to this 2020, and we're looking forward to reaching the world at once. Thank you very much, Festus. Thank you very much, John. Thank you to the rest of the team. I've seen faces that I haven't seen in a long time. I'll definitely be dropping emails to you guys. Thank you for the contribution, and Urban Shelter, we're looking forward to continuing our relationship as well.
Thank you, Malam Basha Abba, engineer, the general manager for Urban Shelter, a very strong partner in promoting housing development in Nigeria. We appreciate your support every time, your partnership, which have been mutual. We sincerely thank you for all the time encouraging us. We can tell you that as sure, we continue to get excellent delivery for you any day, any time. Before I call the chairman, let me call Olubayo. Olubayo, I need to hear from you, your last statement on this program today, because a lot of people, you are in charge of marketing, they want to hear from you. There is some assurances that as far as your zone is concerned, you will do your best. Olubayo.
Well, thank you, Festus. I mean, we are looking forward excitedly to the event coming up. It's a great thing that you guys are doing at the Abuja International Housing Show and taking the show digital. I can see one of the questions that was raised. Maybe I'll start with the issue of, somebody asked the question with regards to what do the participants, maybe companies need to do. I mean, in terms of trying to get, participants to their booth. Participants need to be aware of the fact that it is their responsibility also, aside from all the marketing that Festus and the team is going to put together on AIT, TVC, online and all that, they also have a responsibility to ensure that, through their own marketing channels, on their website, in whatever publications they are, they need to direct people to their booth at the show, because then people will know that, oh, you're going to be at the digital version, meet us there. So they also have a responsibility, or what would I use now? Also a charge to ensure that they do adequate marketing on their own, whether via their whatever channels they use, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, to also ensure that all your potential customers know that you are going to be available to them at the event, so that they know that they can connect to you, whether via video, via chat, via audio. The good thing about the event is that it allows people connect at different levels. So even in terms of internet connectivity, for those that may not have the bandwidth to do video, they may be able to do audio. If they can't do audio, there's still good old-fashioned chat, which doesn't use that much audio. So the event gives people the opportunity to connect with their customers, with their interested exhibitors at different, different levels, using different platforms, different technologies. Somebody also asked the question in terms of security. I mean, I'm fully aware that, the organizers of the show are very particular about the kind of, because I know this same question of security came up sometime early last year when we were looking at trying to put the event together. People are like, oh, what are the security implications? I mean, and I was explaining then that is, one, the organizers of the show are very careful in terms of the people that exhibit at the show to start with, in terms of the quality of companies. Secondly, it is not essentially a transactional atmosphere. So it's not where people are looking to exchange cash or make payments. It's essentially, and yes, people are going to make sales, but it's an informational channel. So people go there, people get information, people start the whole process of purchasing a property, through that channel. People obviously will still do their own due diligence in terms of, the sales process and all that. So, I don't really see, the issue of security being a problem, because essentially what we're doing, what Festus is doing, essentially is just replicating a physical event online. You're not going to just transfer, the person who bought the property for 250 million that Festus made reference to previously. He did his due diligence, he got all the information he needed. So just because it's a digital fair doesn't mean that people should not, do their due diligence. When the gentleman did his due diligence and he was satisfied with the quality of property, he was satisfied with the referrals that he got, he went ahead and consummated the transaction, and paid the money. So, security-wise, it's not really an issue, because you will have access to all the information that you need. The credible companies coming to the event. You also need to do your own due diligence, as would be the case with any, ordinary real estate transaction. So we are really looking forward to a very exciting event. Thank you, Festus.
Olubayo, I'm pleased with you, because you really understand what is in my mind. Even the physical one we'll be doing, we have had reasons to stop 2 exhibitors for record purpose. Those who know me know I don't compromise. It's genuine. When you do counterfeit, I hit you, I hand you over to the nearest DSS to go and keep you, and then you explain later. So this is the fact. I remember about 3 years ago, somebody in Abuja International Housing Show paid 5 million naira to one estate developer. And about 3 weeks later, the person that paid called me. Sir, I paid 5 million. I've been telling them to take me to the sites. They did not take me. I said, I can't understand. Can you get me the name of the developer? And I called the developer MD, the chief executive. I have no business with marketers. I called the chief executive. Gentlemen, hello, how are you? I have this information. The MD denied. I said, okay. The person said the person you have been relating with is so person. He said, I should hold on. He called the lady and asked the lady the question. Because, yeah. Our surveyor has not been available. I said, Mr. Festus, sorry, we are very sorry. We will get to the person now. And I said, please, I need to get me back to me before the end of today. Within 30 minutes, the young man called me back and said, sir, thank you, sir. They said I should see them tomorrow, Saturday, by 10 a.m. when they'll be taking me to the site. The good news is that the person is living in the estate today. And I also have one popular estate developer in FCT who have done that, collected money for 6 years, they did not deliver. And I called the person, stop what they here. Keep your money. Please, we are not fraudulent. And we can't be using our platform to do people. I need to acknowledge clearly. I think it was this morning, somebody called me and was asking me who are the credible developers. Come. We know credible developers, and I'm throwing it open to all the people that are connected. I know this video clip is going to go online. It's going to be on TV, AIT and TVC. If you have problem with any developer, call me. I will expose them. What we are doing with developers is mutual business. So the idea of somebody collecting money and this, as far as we are concerned, we have built good name. Some of the people who are with us, who are working with us, have also made their name. I have on the platform of Bank Shelter, if they are criminal, I wouldn't have brought them here. There's no reason I would have come and bring a criminal to come and endorse my product. Because I know a Bank Shelter has a good record. In fact, the chairman of a Bank Shelter was my managing director when I was a youth corps. Can you see life now? Today, I'm now useful for the old man. And that is Saki there. I remember I called Saki last week that we should get in contact with somebody who would be interested in buying their products. So I'm not just a partner to them, I'm also the ambassador. And when you do evil as well, I also act as an ambassador. I go everywhere and make sure call you criminal. And you get what I'm saying. So this is the facts. I don't want any of my partners who have been related with me for the past 30 years to feel insecure. Don't feel insecure. God is the protector, is our protector. But let me assure you, I relate with EFCC. They watch my program every week. They are my friend. And when they arrest developers, they call me, oh boy, do you know about these people? What information do you have about them? So we are working as a partner. That is EFCC. ICPC, they are my friends. Whenever we have Abuja International Housing Show, I litter the place with different DSS. Ladies who will be part of you, interacting with you, beautiful girls, and you don't know that there's from the state security operative. Let me use this opportunity to assure, before my chairman talk, that as far as we are concerned in Abuja International Housing Show, we are committed to protecting your interests. I can tell you I've been receiving a lot of money in my office. People want me to put their advert on AIT. And I remember even the AIT chairman called me and gave me a handshake. I appreciate me. He said, come, if we are the one according this program, my boys, one or two of them would have made a mistake and put somebody who doesn't have a site on the program. We have stopped interviewing people on housing development program in their offices. We interview in the sites. Our TV program is not a personality program. It's a project program. It's a housing program. So what we want to showcase is your project, what you are selling and not you. So thank you, Olubayo, for all the way in London. You only attended Abuja Housing Show once, and the few times you have interacted with me, you know the way. If it is not Panadol, it's not Panadol. I don't want Nigerians. I stand for Nigerians. I'm not standing for myself. I'm extremely selfless. Those who know me know that as far as any matter that concerns Nigeria is concerned, especially real estate criminality, I am interested. At this point, I would like to call my mentor and brother, a partner, my chairman, Barrister Akin. Let's round up this discussion. Your last statement will be the this program.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Are you hearing me? Okay. I mean, it's been very interesting listening to everybody. You know, and that's the beauty of digital. If you look at this program, so we have speakers from Vancouver, we have from London, we have Abuja, you know, all of us just interacting as if we're just faces. First thing is that all of us must understand that the destruction that technology has brought to a whole lot of time around marketing this afternoon, but to develop management, to housing delivery, to real tech itself, the technology that assists in building the house itself, and then of course all the things that we've been talking about. I do know that a whole lot of things are already happening in Nigeria. You know, it will surprise many of you. I mean, so many things are happening. I know we can do a lot better. Remember recently, Alphamid launched Call to Fix. I mean, their own app. I mean that's a major milestone in the annals of real estate digital marketing in Nigeria. You know, so the reality of this disruption has come to stay, and every player in this market, you have to find a way to key into. Like I said before, it's about agility. It's about how do you respond to this major disruption, you know, and a lot of participants in the industry, you know, once they do one or two things online, they think that's digital. No, we're talking about having a strategic approach. I mean, I've been selling online since when? I've been selling online for like 8-10 years, you know. I've been selling to people all over the world, you know. They will check the property on the website, they will call us, they will pay, and you know, that's the next level now is to have an integrated, seamless platform for delivering across the value chain. That is where all of us need to be, you know, and I'm very glad that AIHS has gone this route, you know. I'm very happy to endorse the virtual Abuja International Housing Show, you know, and I know that one or two people have just mentioned, have spoken around the enormous cost savings. If you just imagine flight tickets, accommodation, transport, incidental expenses, that you're going to save, and the fact you're going to reach a wider base of participants, of audience all over the world. I think it's critical that we know that this is a lot more beneficial. Finally, from me, and I know Modipe and Shenia, they've already spoken to this. I think it's important for everybody in this industry also to take the time to reskill and to retool themselves. Otherwise, I have had to when this lockdown started, the first thing I did was to train my people. I brought in Sheni. I brought in Sheni to train. I brought in somebody else to train because I needed them to understand that the game has changed, and the skills of yesterday will not enable you to play very well in the game of today. So I told them clearly that if you want to remain relevant, this is the direction. You must understand the direction. So I have no fear that my people, they all understand the new rules of the game. So all of us have a responsibility to go out in search of knowledge, to go out in search of those things that will help us to drive our businesses better. That's the only way that we're not going to become that. Thank you, Mr. Oluwayo. Last year I went to do a roadshow in London, and just before COVID-19, I was about to jump in the plane, roadshow in France, roadshow in London. But now I'm just going to sit in the comfort of my home. I will talk to Mr. Oluwayo. I will do my roadshow. I'll have a wider audience, and everybody will be happy. Thank you very much, and thank you for bringing us.
We have come to the end of today's virtual discussion on the subject, imperative of virtual exhibition, case of Abuja International Housing Show 2020. I'll be having with me Olaseni Fawemi, Akeem Oguniran Olubayo John, Bashar Haba, Modupe Ogunyemi, and Saki Mohati. It's been a wonderful time. Let me start by thanking all my participants who have connected for almost 2 hours to this program. We want to say thank you to you. We are very sure that you have benefited a lot. And you got the message very clear. The game has changed. So it is time for the CEOs to change. And this is even the time for the marketers who cannot even use ordinary laptop to change for better. Skill is key. We cannot continue to do it the way we have been doing it before, if really we want to make a difference. And that is the message for all our participants, some of you who are marketers in your different organizations. Now, to my colleagues in the media, you are wonderful. I appreciate you. And as you have always been doing for me, go with the news, share the news. Abuja International Housing Show has gone double, physical, virtual. And that is the message. And what we are known for as an excellence platform, we are committed to sustain it. I want to say a very big thank you. Olaseni, you have done well. Thank you for responding to us. I hope when next we invite you, you will respond to us again. I know you are my partner, so I don't even need to ask you that one. I think I already have a contract already with you. Mr. Olubayo, I want to say a very big thank you to you. Sincerely appreciate you for your contribution today. Your partnership with AIHS, I can assure you, is very rewarding. Thank you for being my partner and for being my brother. Mr. Bashar Haba, I want to say a very big thank you. We interact almost every day. We are together on the same housing development platform where you see us throwing bulbs to different arenas. You have been a source of encouragement. I want to thank you again for responding to my, I don't think I have a record of telling you I need you for an assignment and you tell me you are busy. I hope you always see it as a call to duty. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And thank again to Urban Center for their partnership for AIHS 2020 Digital. And now, Mr. Saki has just announced his own today. I want to appreciate you. Saki has been a wonderful, Urban Center has been on a housing development program for almost every week, 4 minutes urban shelter, so many different projects. And another company that have done that very well is Royal Ceramic. They have given me an award before in appreciation of my little contribution to housing industry. So, Mr. Saki, I want to tell you that we continue to be loyal and continue to do our best to promote your brand. I am very sure you know that we have been adding value. But today I say thank you to you for accepting to be on this platform. I can't remember the last time I see you or anywhere. You don't appear on television, you don't appear on radio, you don't appear in the newspaper, but I succeeded in making you to appear today. And having made you to appear today, you will appear in all those places by force. Thank you, my brother. Now, finally, my boss, my leader, the former MD of UPDC, Akim Ogunina, who have carved a very great name for himself in the sector. I want to say thank you to you. In fact, I must acknowledge, having done 12 webinar programs, it was Mr. Akim Ogunina that sent me a message on a particular evening. And I said, you keep pursuing housing development advocacy. And you have practically paralyzed our Abuja International House issue. You have only announced to us that we are doing digital AIHS. But you have refused to let us know the detail. I hereby advise you to immediately organize a webinar discussion. And in fact, he chose the topic. Mr. Ogunina, thank you so much. It's like sowing seed. She first offered and she brought me to housing. I'm a lawyer. And I serve him. Mabogunje professor, I serve him. He brought me to Abuja. I serve with Obasanjo. I serve with Odili. Let me put on your record publicly here that I've also included your name in the list of those people who mentored me. I'm saying a very big thank you to you for bringing up the idea of this program. And I'm very sure you continue to stay with us till the end of the show. Modupe, you are highly appreciated. I am receiving messages on my phone.
Right.
For the manner and the way you have done today. I am going to send messages to you personally after this.
Please do. I would love to see
Modupe, thank you,
yes. It's been a pleasure.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Housing Development Advocacy Network. We are the leading events and webinar platform in African real estate. A platform to connect with stakeholders in the housing industry across the globe. Our platform has over 1,000 live viewers per webinar, over 20 African and international countries. We engage a heterogeneous audience composed of decision makers. With over 120 minutes per webinar, you can reach over 40,000 global and Pan-African audience. Join Nigeria's leading brands, sponsor a webinar episode or series, or host your own webinar through our platform and speak to your own audience. Through our platform, you can reach a new audience composed of real estate developers and investors, property owners and facility managers, banks and financial institutions, construction and civil engineering firms, managing directors and chief executive officers of companies, wholesalers, retailers, property agencies, and even more. For inquiries, call the numbers displayed on your screen. The Housing Development Advocacy Network webinar platform is proudly sponsored by